We are celebrating our nation's 250th birthday, honoring everyday Americans. We call it Red, White, and You.
It is the perfect way to honor veterans in the St. Louis area who have served their country. Steve Savard joins us with tonight's Spotlight on Service.
Tonight is about taking care of fellow guys in combat here. Ferguson native Mike Cracchiolo grew up in a military household. Both his parents were Marines. In 1968, at the height of the Vietnam War, he enlisted in the Navy with a very specific and dangerous combat role in mind. Service to country was just a given, an expected choice in his family.
Oh, yeah, back in the day, 66, I graduated. Yeah, it was still an honorable thing to do, and it was expected from military families. You carry on the tradition. Here's where I started to get to this.
Mike had his mind set on becoming a corpsman, the Navy's version of a medic.
I was attached to the Marines.
It was one of the most dangerous jobs he could have chosen.
We loved them, they loved us.
Medical personnel were frequent targets of the North Vietnamese.
I owed it not only to my country, but to myself. I wanted to do what the Marines did. And I was sick and tired of hearing people's opinions, seeing it on the news every night. I thought to myself, as stupid as this, I want to go see it myself.
Mike was attached to a Marine battalion in his year-long tour. He carried 3 weapons in addition to the necessary medical supplies to treat the injured and keep the critically wounded alive. Every day, he carried 100 pounds of gear at a body weight of just 135 pounds.
So you humped 100 pounds of gear every single day?
Every day we humped. We marched or walked through jungle, through rice paddies. We call them booby traps, the IEDs they call now. That's me too, sewing up a little Vietnamese kid.
Mike saw it all and treated it all. He says he never worried about being wounded himself. He was too focused on helping his Marine brothers.
I had a head wound from shrapnel. Another corpsman, Bob Langslow, had it right in the middle of his forehead. He was not 15 feet from me, but I only got a small piece, and he was alive, moaning, helmet full of blood, and he lived for about 2 days, but he wasn't salvageable. And then I had a guy with an amputated hand that was hit me in the back with this stump. I had to have Marine, come over here and sit on this guy so he doesn't, I'm trying to dress his wounds. And he died on the chopper going out. I lost 12 guys. And, intellectually I know that there was nothing I could do. It was supposed to happen. But you can't override that emotion that you lost friends, in combat.
Mike also saved countless lives, but says it's the casualties that have dominated his thoughts for more than 50 years. But the Navy veteran is proud that he earned the respect of the Marines he fought with and took care of.
They would give up their lives for you, as I would for them.
Mike says he thinks about his time in Vietnam every day, still to this day. He earned multiple medals for valor, including the Bronze Star, and was awarded a Purple Heart. He says he struggled mightily with PTSD in civilian life and credits his wife Peggy with getting him through some very, very dark times. I'm happy to report that they will celebrate their 52nd wedding anniversary later this year. They raised 2 kids and lived in Baldwin, and Andy Broadway and I appreciate Mike's trust in us telling his combat story.
And we were talking off camera. PTSD is kind of a new term. We had so many veterans come home and they didn't know what this was. They just they just came home with PTSD and they didn't get a diagnosis.
That's exactly right. And like Mike, like so many of those Vietnam veterans, their only resource was their spouse. And in this case, Peggy said Mike was too good a person to give up on, and they are happily married now for 52 years.
Fantastic.
What a blessing for them.
Great story. Thanks,
All
Steve.
right.